Welcome to the Holy Yogi, where we help you find the guru inside of you. Hello, beautiful. Hello, handsome. How you doing today? And if no one has told you today that they love you, let me be the first. I love you, and I'm looking at you right in the eye. Can you handle it? With that said, because love truly, it makes the world go round and round and round, and love is the greatest medicine of them all. And love is also the opposite of fear. We're going to talk about that today. So with that said, what I need you to do first before we begin, I need you to ding, 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 hit that notification button and ring that bell. You can ring my bell, ring my bell. Remember that song back in the day? Okay, anyway, off for the slight tangent. I want you to like, I want you to comment, I want you to give us some fabulous feedback because we spread the love here. And when you spread the love, you spread the word, and you will spread the wealth. I promise you that. I'm not just talking about money. I'm just talking about a wealth of awesomeness, a wealth of an awesome life. And we all deserve to live that, especially when you're in the United States of America. Truth, justice, righteousness, order, balance, reciprocity, and harmony. It is said in the Constitution, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is what democracy is all about. And that's what we continue to strive for. But let's talk about our message for the day before I go off on a slight liberation message for today. Listen here. Yesterday, I hope you was there yesterday, on Memorial Day, I got a pleasant surprise. I was going to talk about completely something else. But, you know, I'm always listening to the universe. When I come here, I never know what the universe really wants me to talk about. I hit this camera, and I go, and I let God speak through me. So yesterday, God spoke through me through our rabbit friend. We happened to have a guest upon yesterday's meeting, and I really liked it because Rabbit was coming into my life and into our life, and I told you what was really fascinating about Rabbit. Usually Rabbit runs away, is very fearful. And I chuckle when I say this because I'm going to get to the point. Because today, what we're going to talk about, let me start off by saying this too. What we're going to talk about today is the reading of the Native American cards, medicine cards. This is a Native American medicine card reading for Rabbit. That's our animal spirit today that we're going to tap into. And it was, I guess, our spirit yesterday. And what was really fascinating was that, so go back and look at yesterday's video where I talk about your vibe attracts your tribe. And your vibe attracts your animal friend too. And so when I got Rabbit, what was really fascinating is that Rabbit was, well, let me go back a little bit. Maybe about 3 or 4 days ago, I was here in the same location, and it's behind behind these wonderful bushes and things of that nature, greenery, or some houses, etc. But I heard some rustling going on. And the rustling came closer and came closer and came closer. And I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. It's clear that this rustling friend wants this space. And I'm out the door. So I let my fear get the best of me, and I went about my business. So I was debating about whether or not to come back here and see if this animal friend was going to come back. I knew it was an animal friend. You just know who was rustling back there. But my spirit told me it was an animal friend. First I thought it was a deer. We have deer around here also, type of thing. And so, in a nutshell, so I was debating about, once again, challenging my fear, or whether or not to come back here and do this show again to see if that animal friend would show back up. So I said, you know, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to, quote unquote, face my fear. I can't wait to this. This is really good. Just stay with me, okay? So in a nutshell, come back, I'm doing the show. I start the show of it. As I begin, out pops this beautiful white bunny rabbit. I go, oh, here is my friend. And so the bunny rabbit comes, and I remind people the beautiful thing about it is, since I'm vegan and you attract what you are, beautiful vibrations, because bunnies are so cute and they're so fluffy and furry and things of that nature. And I fell in love with the bunny, and I was just saying to the friends, and as he came up, he saw me, he came closer, and then he just scurried away and scurried off into his distance and kept it moving. And so I just reminded a friend, that was the end of our show. Because I really wanted to tell people the importance of having good vibrations, because you attract to your animal friends. Most animals will not come nowhere near you, but since I'm vegan and they're picking up my vibe, the animal bunny didn't feel threatened by me and wasn't afraid to be in my presence. So now I go and I say to myself, okay, well, usually when that happens, rabbit came into my life, and this is what if you're studying Native American medicine cards, don't just use it with the cards, meaning connecting with your animal friends. Try to connect with your animal friends out in the real world. And when that animal friend comes to you, like it came to me yesterday, it's a message there for you. So I went home and got out my wonderful medicine cards in my book, and so I read about rabbit. Now, I've been doing medicine cards for years, and over the years you forget what the symbolic meaning of it, and lo and behold, rabbit was fear. And in a nutshell, here's the story. Rabbit story, folklore story, was that Iwalker, who was a Native American, was a magician. And they say magician, but really not a magician, just someone that really was a spiritualist. Okay, let's keep it real. Okay, they call them magicians, etc. And basically, the rabbit wanted, food. So Iwalker, being his friend, loved him, gave him the food, and the rabbit never said anything. So the rabbit wanted something else, and Iwalker gave, was of the female essence, gave the rabbit, another gift. And the rabbit didn't say nothing, no thank you, anything. And so on and on and on, and then rabbit hurt himself. And so Iwalker came and did magic over him and healed the wound that the rabbit was experiencing. And the rabbit, once again, didn't say anything. And then all of a sudden, Iwalker went to go find, her friend, and didn't see the friend anymore. And then finally, she stumbled upon, rabbit friend, and rabbit friend, get away from me. I'm afraid of you. And Iwalker said, why? I've been your friend. I've given you, what you wanted, and I fed you, I clothed you, I gave you shelter, and I healed you. And I'm afraid of your magic, is what rabbit said. And so Iwalker was disturbed by that and said, I could kill you now, but I won't. But from now on, your medicine will be fear, and you will fear everything that happens. And what you fear will come to you. And rabbit scurried away. And so, whenever rabbit thought about, the hawk coming down and eating him and focusing on that, the hawk came down and ate the rabbit. When rabbit was afraid of, the bobcat came and ate the rabbit. When the rabbit was afraid of the tiger came down and ate the rabbit. Or afraid of the fox. The fox came down and ate the rabbit. You see, the moral of the story is whatever you fear and you focus on, whatever you resist, persist. So if you keep fearing those things, they're going to come. Whatever you're fearing is going to come, and a self-fulfilled prophecy will happen for you. Now, this is a message I'm supposed to give to you, and also it's a message I'm supposed to take from me. You see, because the other day I faced my fear of that little friend, scary friend back there, because of that, I was blessed with the appearance of the rabbit, and I had a great day. Instead of succumbing to it, and causing it to control my life and where I wanted to have my blessing at, next to my wonderful tree friends, in order to bless you. You see, it's so important that you face your fears with what? The opposite of fear is faith. And the opposite of fear is what? Love. And that's what it's all about. Sprinkle a whole lot of love and faith on what you fear, and it would disappear. I wasn't trying to rhyme there, but it worked. In a nutshell, because it's truth to that. Face your fear and it will disappear. Face your fear with love and it will disappear. That's what I want you to do. I want you to face your fears with love, and in return, you will be blessed. So let me talk about all the fears that I faced. And to be very quite honest with you, maybe the reason why it doesn't come up for me for so long, because each day, as you see, I'm coming out here and I start my day off, love, 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 love. But if you could have known me 10, 20, 30 years ago, oh, ladies and gentlemen out there, I feared everything. I had a fear of heights. I had a fear of flights. I used to fear getting on the plane ride. Just all of a sudden, at one time, I was on a plane. I went out to California. Like, everything's fine. Everything's hunky-dory. I went out to go visit a friend of mine matter of fact, Atlanta, Georgia. Can you believe that? I just now realized that. I went to go visit a friend of mine out in Atlanta, Georgia. The reason I'm saying that, because this is where I live. I live in Atlanta, Georgia area now. And I'm just not realizing that. And that's when it hit me, this fear of flying. And this is really important, because I really want you to get this. You see, the universe is always talking. I'm just getting, like I said, I get this stuff as I'm talking to you. It comes. And people always think I have this stuff scripted, and I don't. It's just the script of the universe, the script of God that's guiding me every single step of the way. So with that said, I never forget, I want to play around. I'm like, give me, I forgot what it was. Some type of drink. I had a margarita. I think it was a margarita. It was no, it wasn't a margarita. It was a Bloody Mary. I used to love Bloody Marys at one time, back in the long days, in my early 20s, when I used to drink. I haven't been drinking years. But anyway, so to get me through that flight, right in midair, I'm like, oh my God. So I landed, etc. And ever since then, I had this fear of flying. So in a nutshell, what had happened was, I knew I wanted to go to every time I took a flight, even though I had the fear, in the end, I saw family, I saw friends, I saw loved ones, I got a new life experience, had a great time. I enjoyed every single bit of it. And, I can remember I had to go, and this was really deep. Okay, so I would take shorter flights because it would lessen the fear. Now, can you imagine going to California? Okay, that's an 8-hour flight from the East Coast when I grew up in Philly. And so I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to get through that? But that was so I could go to college. That was so I could start a brand new job and career and things of that nature. So I had to face my fears in order to enjoy the love that I was going to experience in the future. So now I finally get the opportunity. I get a scholarship to go out to Nagoya Gakuen University in Japan, and I had a chance to study and live in Japan for a couple of years. And in a nutshell, I'm like, I gotta get on this plane ride, and that ride was 12 hours, ladies and gentlemen. I drove this man crazy one time, just trying to talk my fears away. That he offered to give me one of his volumes to get through the flight. But you know what I found out? Each time I took those flights back and forth to Japan, those 12-hour flights and things of that nature, I always had to face that fear, etc. I prayed. I became really close. I really became spiritual and prayed and became closer to every God and goddess in the universe, etc. But in the end, what really propelled me to continue facing my fears was what was always on the other side. each time I face my fears, I got a chance, like I said, to go to Japan. I got a chance to meet new Japanese families that I stayed with and new people. And I got plenty of jobs and I made money. I got a great education. I learned a language, had a cultural, phenomenal experience and life memories that would never go away. I had to when I went to Africa and got a chance to meet the culture and the people and meet with the spiritual gurus. It had to be a plane ride. I got a chance to go out and speak and live among my Native American people and get into a wonderful teepee and a sweat lodge and all that kind of stuff, and just had a wonderful experience then. Even though that was a really difficult plane ride because it was on them single engine things and you felt every bump, but I worked through it, prayed and meditated and worked through it, because at the other end was the beauty, was the love. And the greatest aspect of feel the fear and do it anyway. Because after you feel that, you feel empowered, you feel liberated, because you are now facing your fear. And once you do that, you are what? Free! Yes, free to be you and free to be me. That's why it's so important. Because fear stagnates you. Fear limits you. Fear minimizes you. Fear is a prison that you put yourself in. Oh my God, you are so much more powerful than that. That's why it's so important. That's why I chose to tap into the diva inside of me, the goddess inside of me. Because where there is love, there is no fear. So what I want you to do is work on overcoming your fears by becoming the love of your life and facing love every single day, because that's the truth. Fear is false evidence appearing real. It's not even real. It's something going on in your head. Something that hasn't even happened. And you're letting it stop you from living your life and having your best life ever. Just say no to fear, ladies and gentlemen. Just say no to losing that wonderful weight that's going to make you look your fabulous. Just say no to poverty. Just say no to hate and envy and racism and all that discrimination. Just say no to all that negativity out there and say yes to love. I love me enough to face all of my fears and live my phenomenal dreams, because it's not even real. It's not worth you. So that's the message of today. It's time for you and I to face all of our fears. And when we do, if you notice, success shows a pattern. There is a formula to success. I know that each and every single time I face my fears, I find more love. And so will you. When I faced my fear of poverty, I became rich. And that's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's do our meditation for today. Divine, gracious, Heavenly Father, I am fearless. I am love. I am grateful for the rabbit friend reminding me to face my fears and see and enjoy the love. Thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you, animal rabbit friend, for reminding me of that. And now I pray for my rabbit friend, that though you've been cursed or maybe blessed with the fear, I want you to face your fear and become my friend and feel the love. Peace, hetapu, namaste. Have a fantastic, awesome day. Bye-bye.